Welcome to Flawless Shoe Reviews. Now the Hoka Clifton 10 features 5 major changes compared to the 9. I'm going to break these down so you have a better idea if it's worth upgrading. So as you can see, first of all, we've got a much chunkier midsole. So we've got 42 mils in the rear foot, 34 in the forefoot. So that's 10 mils extra heel stack compared to what we saw in the Clifton 9. So it's a lot more cushioning underfoot, and we've got an 8 mil drop as opposed to the classic 5 mil drop that we associate with the Cliftons. So it feels different underfoot. You've got a lot more cushioning underfoot. Now Hoka reckon by adding in that extra element of cushioning, it reduces the bottoming out effect that people typically comment about around 200 to 300 miles. So they're trying to increase the durability of the Clifton by adding that extra stack underneath your foot. As a result, they've added in a slightly more aggressive heel bevel, so it transitions quickly when you initiate contact with the ground onto the midfoot. And I definitely felt as a heel striker I was moving quickly onto that midfoot when I initiated contact with the ground. It's got a classic meta rocker that we associate with the Clifton 9 and most Hokas. Then the other big change is the weight. So as a result of having all that extra stack underneath your foot, it comes in around 278 grams as opposed to 249 grams in the Clifton 9. They haven't upgraded the midsole, so it's still your typical CMEVA cushioning rather than the supercritical foam that we saw in the Bondi 9. And the Bondi 9 only has about a millimeter more cushioning than we see in the Clifton 10. However, they feel really different underfoot. So the Clifton 10 still feels like that classic workhorse of a shoe. It's still relatively responsive. It can cover all those easy miles, long runs, and those recovery miles. You don't sink into it as much as you do in the Bondi 9, and it's still similarly responsive to what we felt in the Clifton 9 in our opinion. As we move on top of the shoe, there's 2 changes, so it's a little bit wider in the normal fit. So those of you who didn't enjoy the snug fit that tapered quickly in the toe box in the Cliftons, you'll enjoy the extra space. It comes in a wide and an extra wide version as well. The tongue is non-gusseted this time, so rather than the semi-gusseted that we saw in the Clifton 9, and it's nice and padded similarly around the heel cup, and it's got a moderately flexible heel counter. So the Clifton 10 has had some major upgrades. It has some differences in the stack, the drop, the weight, the fit, and the tongue. It does feel different underfoot. It's a little bit softer than what we saw in the Clifton 9, but still has that responsiveness to it that I think it will work as a classic workhorse of a shoe. In terms of if you wanted to use it as a lifestyle shoe, some of you may not enjoy that look of having that extra stack underneath your foot, but it feels nice and soft and comfortable when you're walking around, and relatively responsive if you want to use it just for walking. But let us know what you think in the comments section. If you want to pick up a pair, we've got a link to check out the latest prices on Amazon. Otherwise, we've loads of reviews on Hoka shoes if you want to check out our channel. Like and share and subscribing is always appreciated.